Good evening, Sunday evening, baseball fans. Welcome to Just a Bit Outside. It is Sunday, July 30th, which means one thing and one thing only. We are 2 days away from the trade deadline, and who needs Jeff Passan? Who needs anybody from anywhere major media-wise when we've got our own source, the source Matt Trace, here to break down everything.
Today's actually two things. Today is whatever you said, day before trade deadline, but it's also the day to see the Yankees get spanked by the Orioles. So
I was looking on Twitter, just trying to dig some stuff up real quick. They got 6 runs before an out was even recorded.
yeah, 7 runs on 7 hits. Severino threw 38 pitches in his last 2 games now against the Orioles. In basically 3 innings, he's given up 17 hits and 14 runs.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he made it 2 2/3 the last time against them. So
Big Ben commented early, Yankees getting smashed. And let's be honest here, who doesn't like to see the Yankees getting smashed?
Yankees fans.
Well, how many Yankee fans do you know? I know like 2.
Are we talking legit Yankee fans or fake Yankee fans?
Legit ones, one being my brother.
I know a few.
Okay.
We're talking fake Yankee fans.
Oh, all over.
3/4 are fan base.
Ooh,
It is now 7-2. Sorry.
Well, no, you're good. Shout it out. I haven't had a chance to pull up all the tabs I wanted to yet. I was just going to mostly talk deadline here and 2 days left before the non-waiver deadline. But big news early on. We'll touch on all the big trades and everything. But I think the biggest surprise, Matt, is the Angels deciding to be buyers all of a sudden.
I'm not surprised.
You didn't think they were going to sell the whole thing?
No, because let's be honest here. You have the whole Ohtani deal, which I would have loved to see Ohtani go to Philly because that was a talk. Nobody wanted to give up their entire farm system for that guy.
No, and I think that was the problem there too.
And now that's why they're going to be buyers because they can't get what they want. So why don't we buy? Because let's face it, what are the chances that Ohtani re-signed in the offseason? Probably slim.
Slim. I was reading that they do honestly have a chance to make a run at him, but again, I think it's just going to be
he's staying in L.A. He's going to be staying in L.A. He just won't be staying with the Angels.
Not the American League LA team.
Yeah, no. He's going to sign with the Dodgers. It's going to be a massive contract. The Angels aren't going to want to pay it. And let's face it, he wants a ring. Not going to get it in L.A. anytime soon. So
let me
Angels, I should say. He shouldn't get it with the Angels anytime soon.
Yeah, let me go ahead and scroll up there. And right after they announce that they're going to hold on to Shohei, they go out and they acquire Lucas Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez from the White Sox. And that signals their intent to do their best to compete for the rest of the year in my eyes. Though I don't know if Lucas Giolito and Lopez are going to do it for him.
I mean, they're pretty much not really in the running for anything other than a wild card spot. So,
yeah, I was just I'll pull up the standings here real quick. They're like 5 out of the division and 4 out of the wild card or something like that. Standings. Yeah, I was going to say too, if you just kind of look at the standings here, and Texas being buyers now too. All of a sudden, Houston's treading water. LA's buying.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna stop you on the Texas being buyers part because them getting Scherzer means nothing to anybody. To be honest with you, that was the biggest. I'm sorry. I know it's a different topic. I mean, Texas is probably still going to win that division.
Yeah, with
or without Scherzer, but that was the dumbest single-handed move I've seen. Like, why? Like, what is the point? I'm not saying Scherzer's not bad, but like, what's working for you now is working. Like, why would you fuck it? Like, why would you fuck it up?
I did see that they did have Eovaldi go on the 10-day now IL. It's not 15 anymore for forearm tightness, but he's always been a guy that I don't think has ever completed a full season healthy.
Okay, but even with him being up and down, they're what, second best team in the American League right now? Third best behind Baltimore and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Okay, point proven.
Yeah,
they're better than Houston right now.
Yeah,
and Scherzer stole that money from the Mets just to get traded because the Mets are in shambles. So
Well, how about the Mets too, paying like 30? What is it, like 30 million over the
it's like,
next 2 years for him?
yeah, 22. They sent him 22 million in the trade,
Yeah.
which
So
I, I don't know. I mean, I know it's off. It was off topic from what you were talking about, but it's
no, it's
kind
a
of
bit.
along this.
It's a trade.
It's kind of along the same lines though, because the Angels are contenders for the wild card. They're 4 games out in the wild card standings, which is fine. But how much of a difference is Scherzer really going to make for the Texas rotation? They've been doing really well, even with Eovaldi up and down all
Yeah.
year. Like
I'm
it's
trying to
highway
remember.
robbery.
I'm trying to remember what the rotations now too. They've got now it's Scherzer, Eovaldi,
Montgomery,
Perez,
Gray, and Haney.
Montgomery, and Montgomery too. They just added to Haney was the one I couldn't remember. But yeah, now a few hours ago they even go pick up Montgomery, a true rental player, because I believe he's a free agent at the end of the year.
And let's face it, Scherzer's not going to stick around at the end of the year. I think he has that opt-out option.
Part of the deal I was reading up on it is he opted into next year, so the Mets are sending money for that year too.
Oh, what a see.
So the Mets are kings of just paying people not on the roster.
Yeah, well, that's Texas's fault for biting the bait on that one. I would never have taken that deal.
Yeah, it did cost them Ronald Acuna's brother, their number 3 prospect.
Yep.
Let me flip here.
For a 39-year-old who's having a struggle this season.
I don't understand what it is. I saw a funny comment. It was Texas Rangers. Oh, we did such a great job of getting the Mets injured ace last year. Let's go ahead and get the same one for this year. But there's that one. Mets receive. Do you pronounce that Louis Angel? I guess. Just call him Louis.
Luis Angel Acuna.
That would make more sense.
Yeah.
The number 44 overall prospect, younger brother of Ronald. But he's still in Double-A, so who knows? It's going to be a couple years before you realize who wins that deal anyway.
Yeah, but I think that's a terrible trade.
Do you think if Texas wins the World Series, it's still a terrible trade?
Yeah. Because they can win the World Series without Scherzer.
But
okay, hold on. Well, no. So hear me out. Like the National League, by far, is a lot easier. I guess you could say league in baseball to pitch in, and he's struggling there. The American League has far better hitters this year, and you're going to go up. You're going to go and play. Okay, let's face it.
It still has Ohtani and the Angels to go through now.
Yep, he's got Julio in Seattle. That's what I'm saying. You can go across the whole league of the American League. I don't know if they play the Yankees still or if he'll face the Yankees. Not saying they're doing anything. They still got. I don't know if they play Baltimore.
Let me look it up here real quick. But no, you do make a good point. I didn't even factor that in. Just the talent difference between. I mean, the NL East itself is a runaway train at this point. AL West has still got a chance of something happening, but
here, Texas Rangers schedule. I'm looking at it right here.
So
for the rest of the year here, okay. So they got the White Sox, Miami, Oakland, San Francisco, Angels, Milwaukee, Arizona, Minnesota, the Mets, Minnesota, Houston, Oakland, Toronto, Cleveland, Boston, Seattle, LA, Seattle. They don't play Baltimore, but there's still some really good hitting in the rest of the way from here on out. They have to face. Scherzer's first game is against the White Sox, and his second game is against Oakland. Scratch those 2 games off. Because let's face it.
As wins or losses?
As wins, because let's face it. I mean, the only team that might be competitive would be Chicago, but they did a fire sale.
Yeah.
And, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So his next opponent after that projected would be the Angels.
Yeah, so I see what you're getting at there. But again, though, too, they may go for like a 6-man rotation. Maybe.
I think they'll go 5.
We'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm starting to agree with you though. Even though you give up your number 3 prospect and you're not super financially committed to him, it's still a 39-year-old pitcher for over a year and a half at this point.
Yeah, against some of the best in baseball.
No, I get what you're saying now.
And I'm not taking anything away from Scherzer. Scherzer's proven he's a good, solid pitcher, but like he's what he is right now. He's a 39-year-old pitcher going to the American League and has to face some of the best players in baseball. Yeah.
Yeah. How many times were the Angels on that list? You said Seattle twice, I know.
So they played the Angels one series.
Probably at least
two more series. They get Seattle, 2 more series. Oakland, 2 more series. And that's
they
it
dodged
for
the Angels.
Division.
Ooh, they dodged the Angels.
They get them twice. They get them.
Sorry, so it's been a long day.
So they get them. They get them twice. They get them here in August, and then they get them at the end of the season in September. They play 3 games against Seattle, 3 games in LA, 4 games in Seattle to finish the season. And you're talking right there, okay? That stretch, you're talking what, 3, 6, 10, a 10-game stretch that could potentially make or break you making the playoffs.
Yeah, and this is what I love about the deadline. You analyze everything. You don't know what's going to happen till it happens. Who knows? Maybe we're just wrong here. Maybe Scherzer, he's definitely not going to win Cy Young in the American League. Definitely not over Ohtani.
He's probably not going to win any awards this year, to be honest with you.
No, just pad his own stats. You mentioned earlier about the White Sox selling. I had the trade listed up there of them selling Joe Kelly and Lance Lynn to the other LA team. But who do you think is going to be the biggest seller at the deadline?
I mean, right now it's hard to argue that Chicago isn't the biggest seller right now.
I'm waiting for the Cardinals just to blow it all up. The Mets, I'd even argue the Mets if they get rid of Verlander now.
I can see Verlander getting traded, but again, I think right now it's hard to argue that Chicago isn't the biggest seller. And in all honesty, like I can see like a big trade coming down. I'm just saying this hypothetically. Obviously, I'd like to see this, but I can see like a Soto to Philadelphia trade come about just because of all the things that are leading up to, San Diego, I think is going to be a seller at this point because I think they're starting to realize like they have too many personalities in that, and then they have too much personality in that locker room.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see like San Diego being a seller, but I can see the White Sox pretty much just selling out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Mets to start fire selling everything, the Cardinals to do it.
The Dodgers are going to be the biggest buyer.
I see that. They just let me pull the list back up here. So a couple of weeks ago, they brought Kike Hernandez back. They brought in Amadou Rosario, trading Noah Syndergaard, which what happened to him, man? Dude.
I mean, I said that last.
No
offense. I mean, we were kind of all were in agreement that Noah was what he was for Philly last year, but I kind of figured like that was gonna be it for him.
Yeah, he said something like he'd give up his firstborn child or something to go back to the pitcher that he was or something like that.
He's not going to see that day. I'll tell you who's going to be the team that's going to sit quietly, and everybody's going to. I know people are going to laugh, but the Braves are going to be a team that is just going to stay put. They're not going to do anything.
No, they did a trade a couple hours ago, but it's literally nobody I know of.
Yeah,
they got Nicky Lopez from the Royals for Taylor Hearn, who they had just acquired.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're looking at. So you're talking about like a team that's the best team in baseball. Like, what do they really have to trade for?
Yeah, and just going to say, even though you can never have enough pieces, but in that scenario with the Braves, like what else you going to do? Basically, I view this one for Nicky Lopez as them getting a utility infielder. And that's the latest trade that MLB's posted and that I've seen at this time.
And we'll go even farther. Another sleeper pick, and I'm going to get a couple of people are going to be like this. Look at Cincinnati being a buyer.
Yeah. What do you think they'll be buying though?
I think they just need a little bit of depth. I mean, they're with them adding Ellie De La Cruz, they have really turned their season around. But they just need a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't
Like just another stick in the middle of the lineup.
that maybe another bullpen guy just to just like maybe a veteran presence in the bullpen. That way, when they make that playoff push, they have somebody that can lead them.
Mhm.
Because obviously Votto is going to be a good leader for them.
Trying to think
But
who could be
but
out
but
there that they could get.
I mean,
I mean, there's a ton of guys, like especially
yeah.
veteran relievers. They're a dime a dozen. But I'm just trying to think
I
of
mean,
somebody who could sell.
personally, at the time, I mean, obviously it's not going to happen. But you're talking like Robertson would have been a good trade for them.
Yeah, if he didn't, and that's what I was going to do with Miami going out and getting him. But I don't think they gave up anything for him though.
No, but I mean, I think
Graveman goes back to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just think they just I don't know necessarily who it would be like per se. I just think they need an extra piece, both pitching wise and maybe fielding wise. Doesn't have to be an everyday player. It can be a fill-in. It can be like when we had Brad Miller
Yeah, one
come
of
in,
those type of.
and fill in when necessary. I just think they need a little bit more depth to make a run because their starting rotation wise isn't bad. But and Hunter Green's hurt, so
And they
you
just
have
had
that.
India go on the IL too.
Yeah. So I just think they just need one more piece. Just something.
Yeah, and I mean they're still winning their division and everything by half a game, but they're also basically whoever doesn't win the NL Central, the second team is going to be one of the wild card spots at this point.
Oh, 100%.
Same with the NL East.
100%. But again, to make I mean, I hate to bring it up for being a Philly fan, but last year I think that's what killed Philly in the World Series was they had depth, but not enough depth to beat Houston.
Yeah, like they used like the arms just got tired.
Yeah, and I think that's what Cincinnati needs. Cincinnati's there. I mean, you figure with Tyler Stevenson behind the plate, he's going to call great games for everybody. De La Cruz has been the saving grace for that team. Friedel in center field has been awesome for them. I think he's been super underrated. Nobody ever talks about him. And Votto just being Joey Votto.
I mean,
I think they have that they have that team. They just need something else just to get them over the hump to make a run. I mean, they can make a run. They just need like one or two extra pieces just for depth.
They can go back out and make a trade with the Bay Stars to go get Trevor Bauer back.
Yeah, I mean, all joking aside, though, Bauer's been lighting it up over in Japan. He had one bad outing, and then after that, he's been on fire.
Yeah, he had a couple. He actually does a vlog series on YouTube I've been watching, where he every like 2 weeks or so he kind of throws a video out there. He got elected to their All-Star game actually.
So here I'm reading. You know who would be a good fit possibly for the Reds? Since I'm reading about it. They said the Nationals have 8 suitors for that Jeimer Candelario.
Oh yeah.
I don't know Cincinnati's listed
anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know Cincinnati's listed as one of the suitors.
It would make sense. I believe he's a switch hitter too.
So they said so far that they know of, this is just a rumor, that the Giants, Diamondbacks, Brewers, and Astros each could use help at the infield corners. That would be a perfect, because he can play all across the infield.
Trying to remember, yeah, because he can definitely play third. He can play first. I'm trying to remember if he's a switch hitter or not, but anyway, he's durable. You just throw him anywhere.
And the other option from the Nationals would be Kyle Finnegan.
Yeah, you've been. Who's the right field that they've had that's been tearing it up this year?
Lane Thomas.
Yeah,
they said Thomas is available, but I want trade basically for him just as a fill-in guy. I mean, Finnegan's contract is through 2025, so like if you trade for him, you're getting him for a couple of years. because you're not going to get any of their top prospects. But if you can make it, if you're Cincinnati, I would honestly try and go after, because Finnegan's a right-hander. Then you got Candelario, who can literally
pencil him in anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's technically a third baseman, but
he could probably do some serviceable time in left or right and play first too.
And with De La Cruz playing third base, if you want to give him the day off from fielding, you can put Candelario at third and give Votto the day off and put Ellie at DH, kind of like what the Orioles are doing with Rutschman tonight.
Oh, they're DHing him and they have McCann catching.
Yep, and they have Rutschman leadoff. Man, so it works.
Talk about a guy that, I mean, I knew he was going to be good, but like just coming out of nowhere for Rutschman. Then again, too, coming out of nowhere, De La Cruz as well. Do you think De La Cruz has done enough to win Rookie of the Year yet? Or is it still Corbin Carroll's thing to lose?
That's tough because Corbin Carroll's pretty much played all year. So what De La Cruz is doing in a short time is, I'd say it's Ohtani-like when you talk about his offense. But how can you take away what Corbin Carroll's done for the whole year? He's been the big reason why, and I'm not taking anything away from Ellie, because he's been a big part for Cincinnati's success now. But man, Corbin Carroll's been the biggest difference maker for Arizona.
He has. And and they kind of, everybody's questioning why they would give him that guaranteed contract, hasn't even done anything yet. And they already signed him up for an extension, avoided all of his arbitration years, and now it looks like a genius move.
Yeah. I mean, what were they last year? I can't remember. Arizona was not really in the thick of things last year.
Let me look. 22.
They were 74 and 88 last year, but they were 6 games above Colorado in the division.
37 games out too.
Yeah. And here they are. They've already are close to matching their win record for the year from last year, and we're 106 games into the season. I mean, they're at 56 and 50.
Yeah, they're gonna. Hold on, let me look. How are they? Okay, so they're a game out of the wild card. So I don't think they're done. Arizona's gonna come back, and they're probably gonna be one of those teams that just catches fire at the right time, like Philly did last year, and just roll with it. That's my guess.
I mean, can you imagine the matchup you could have with Arizona versus Cincinnati for a wild card game?
That would be. And yeah, they're finally they got the wild card right, where it's not just a one and done. So at least they got that right.
If you want to talk about young players, just keep this in mind too. For how good Baltimore is, Jackson Holliday is still in the minors.
Yeah, he'll be up next year.
He's 19 years old and is in Double-A. So.
And isn't he hitting like 300s in Double-A right now? I know he just got there, but he's raking.
Yep.
What's
just
his
keep that in mind.
Position?
Shortstop?
Is he listed as a shortstop?
I'm not sure what they have him listed as, but he's a son of.
I think it's an infielder, Matt Holliday.
Yeah, as I say, people don't know, like he's the son of Matt Holliday.
Were you looking at? I'm scrolling here on trade rumors to see if there was anything. Is that where you saw the Candelario?
Yeah, they have Holliday listed as a shortstop and second baseman.
Okay, so who they have at shortstop right now?
What for? Who? Baltimore?
Yeah.
Should be Gunnar Henderson.
I thought he played
second. No, because second base is Adam Frazier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so Frazier will be gone. You're not getting. For some reason, I thought Gunnar played third. Uh-huh. Then again, too, the Orioles can probably move him all around. So
third base is Ramon Urias.
Yeah, they'll do some flipping around there.
Tonight playing third is Jordan Westberg,
the guy who hit his first major league home run against Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
He is
God.
fast.
I
So
heard something back there.
yeah,
Yeah.
runners on first and second, 2 outs, top of the fourth.
Yeah. I was going to say, we haven't had any, I mean, outside of the Scherzer deal, the Ohtani no trade, trying to think of any other major deals that have, just scrolling through here real quick, any major deals that have, gone down. I mean, it's all been kind of just littler stuff, like things that you kind of expected, but there had, outside of Scherzer, there hasn't been that one, you didn't
Well,
see that coming deal.
you kind of
At
saw
least
the
I think.
deal coming. I think the Scherzer deal was coming, but going to Texas is where I didn't see it happening.
Yeah.
Once the Mets started having absolute bomb of a season, it was kind of like, so who leaves first? Is it going to be Scherzer? Is it going to be Verlander? Because once one goes, the other one's probably going to go. Like there's no question Verlander's gone.
There was the Verlander quote I saw today. He's basically, he still has that no trade clause and everything, but he's sitting there saying, I want to do my job to bring a championship back here, but if the team doesn't feel that it's in the cards for next season, then yeah, I'll take a trade.
So I'll tell you who the other big one was that's going to not be traded, and that was Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, the Cubs are holding on. I thought he would get dealt. No.
Yeah, I'd be trading him as quickly as I could.
Yeah, and he's a true rental too. I mean, he only signed that 1-year deal. Even Stroman, I would have dealt Stroman too for whatever you could get.
At this point, anybody should be available across the board.
And
if we're going to be honest,
for the Cubs, how far were they out now?
Like a mile.
I know I think they're 8-2. Yeah, they're 8-2 over their last 10. They're a game over 500, 4 out of the division, 3.5 out of the wild card. So,
and they're barely holding on to being above 500. So
yeah, and they're not going out and grabbing anybody either. So
they're not going to pass the Brewers, and they're not going to pass the Reds.
No chance.
The only chance they have is to play the Phillies like they do and sweep them.
Well, how bad have the Phillies been? Did you see any of that crap today?
Nope. I took an.
You were at the picnic, so.
Well, no, I started at the picnic, and then I came home, and I put the race on, and I took a nap. I saw Sanchez went 5 with a no-hitter and 73 pitches, and they pulled him.
Yep. And Bohm hit a two-run bomb. They couldn't hold that. Pirates, or they go out and score 4, then the Pirates match the 4, and then the Pirates hit a 2-run homer in extras after Bryce Harper and Alec Bohm forgot how to run the bases.
So here's my thing.
Trade Nola.
Besides that, this is gonna disappoint you to hear me say this too, but this is my honest opinion. I think now's a good time to consider trading Schwarber and bringing in Soto in a package deal.
I would if you want to go that route, I like Rojas. I like Rojas in center, and I can live with Marsh in left.
Okay, but hear me out on this, because if you're trading for Juan Soto, you're not trading for a rental guy. You're trading for him to keep him. And you already got Christian Pache, who is by far having a career year since he's been traded. So I don't think you want to get rid of him no matter what. At the end of the year, you're going to try and keep him. I think I've said this numerous times, and I know you keep saying this is what he gets paid for, but it's doing nothing but hindering them. Is this home run or bust thing for Schwarber it's not working. I'm sorry. I get it. He's hitting a lot of home runs. That's 27 extra runs that the Phillies have scored this year. His fielding is bad.
Yeah, I was going to say the fielding's been atrocious.
His fielding is bad, and he's striking out at the most inopportune times. Like when you need him to be a hitter, when he's striking out. The guy's batting 183 for the year. He's batting almost his career low for batting average the last 2 years. At what point do you sit there and realize, like, okay, maybe this home run or bust thing, yeah, it's exciting to see him hit a home run, but we need you need something. There's no reason that this guy should be hitting a home run every 20, 25 at bat.
Yeah,
or
no, I
pitches.
was pulling up his splits here too. Over his last 7, he's hitting 158. His last 15, 170. His last 30, 179. And in that span, there's been his last 30 games, he struck out 44 times.
Yeah, if you go look at his career batting average, he's at his lowest right now at 183. He batted 188 in 2020 with the Cubs, and that was COVID year.
Yeah, oh boy.
So we'll cross that one off. So cross off the 2020 season, okay? And he's batting his career lowest ever right now.
Do you feel Castellanos is at the end of the rope too? If you're gonna go in that,
no. See, here's the thing: Castellanos. It took him a little while. It took him to this year to finally get on, and now, like since the All-Star break, he's been struggling. It is what it is. I think teams kind of figured him out a little bit, but his field, like he's not a bad fielder.
Schwarber's by far the worst fielder.
Oh, 100%.
By far.
But I think this is if San Diego would bite the bullet on it and would be willing to do it. I think like a Nola Schwarber trade for Soto, and then you sign Soto to a contract. Now's an opportunity to, because let's face it, Nola knows that he's done in Philly at the end of this year. No matter what, he's done.
The outing yesterday was terrible. Not even going 5 innings and giving up. Was it 6 or 7 runs?
Yeah, he's done.
It was bad.
Let's face it, he's done in Philly. He gave Philly a lot of good years, but he's done. Like it's when you're a team leader and wins, is Taijuan Walker.
Yes, and the thing is, too, somebody's going to pay Nola.
Oh, 100%.
What was I looking up? What did I see here? Just scrolling through Twitter to find some stuff real quick. Apparently, the Marlins are pushing for Gleyber Torres that as you will.
So here in his last 7 days, Nola's 0-1 with an ERA of a 6.17 and 13 strikeouts. Remember, he had a game where he struck out 13?
Yeah,
against Miami.
Yeah, he was on that game.
Or Tampa Bay. He struck out 12.
That's right. I should have remembered that because Big Ben was commenting here that he was actually at that. Well, he didn't comment this time. When we did the July 4th show, he was going to that game because that was the Nola versus Eflin game.
Right. So in that span, in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, his last 5 games, here's how it's gone. Tampa Bay, great. 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. Happened to be that home run. 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. Now he's went against Miami, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. Milwaukee, 7.1, 4 hits, 3 runs. Cleveland, okay, now again, these are games that he should be winning. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 home runs. I was Miami game is the one he gave up the 3 home runs, which was stupid.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh, 4.2, 9 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, and a home run. 3 walks. Like this inconsistency with this guy is not helping them, and then obviously them not hitting isn't helping them. But you can't
roller coaster.
Yeah.
No, I'm starting to come around on Nola with you. I'm starting to.
Yeah.
And
I know you're a big Schwarber fan, and this is not me saying it because of you being a Schwarber fan, but it's just at what point do you just cut your ties and be like, okay, we need a hitter. Like, I know the fans love home runs. I love seeing a home run. I want to see Harper start hitting more home runs. I don't think he's got the power back yet to do it. But at what point do you realize, like, okay, like enough's enough? Like, we can't have this guy hitting 183,
hitting leadoff,
bottom of the 9th inning, and there's 2 guys on, and we just need you to get a base hit, and you're striking out.
Yeah. The one thing that I say that Schwarber's really good at, he's good at taking pitches and maybe striking out afterwards, but the dude's going to see at least 4 pitches in at bat.
Oh, I don't disagree. I don't disagree in that aspect.
But you're saying the output versus the contract they're not weighing up to each other.
No, and that's the problem. Like, okay, so here, his recent games. His last home run was against Pittsburgh. Okay, that was that first pitch against Friday night. After that, when was his last home run? Tuesday against Milwaukee, the 18th. You're talking 10 days. He went 10 days without hitting a home run, and he struck out in every game other than against Baltimore after that in that frame.
I wonder if he got a hit. My question would be what it was the split during that stretch between homers. Like, was he in another
Okay, you want to know his hits?
or
You want to know his hits?
if you can break it down, I'd be interested.
1 hit on the 19th and 4 at bats. Then he went 1, 2, 3, 0 for in 3 straight games. 1 for 4, 0 for 1, 0 for 4, 0 for 3, and then he went 2 for 2 technically against Pittsburgh with a home run.
So in between the home runs, he's 2 for.
He's 1, 2, 3, 3 for for whatever. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point do you say enough is enough?
Yeah, we're getting there. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I think some stuff happens.
I mean, I think they make the playoffs. It's just like you go and look at his month-to-month breakdown. Obviously, even in the month of June when he had all those home runs and stuff, he only batted .223 for the month. So a package deal.
It's getting harder to defend it. It's getting a lot harder to defend it.
And I'm not trying to sway you the other way, but we're talking about a trade deadline here.
But as somebody if you're in Philadelphia's shoes, you're still in a contending state.
You're right. You
give up he's your team leader in home runs. He's your biggest offensive output, average, strikeouts, everything included. He's the biggest output on the team right now. Trey Turner hasn't done crap all year.
Correct.
Harper's
Harper right now.
He's coming around, but again, this is a guy who had Tommy John and had no rehab games. Castellanos fell off a cliff. But for some reason they don't. What is it? I don't understand why they can't hit Bryson Stott against lefties and why Josh Harrison needs to keep getting at bats.
Why does Marsh not get to play every day?
Yeah, that too. That was going to be my next point. Yeah,
but let's just do this for comparison's sake. Just let me pull up this real quick. I want to compare Soto to
Soto and all intents and purposes too is not having his typical year either, average wise.
But let's just
for comparison's sake.
Just for comparison's sake here, okay. For the year, Soto is batting .268 with 20 home runs and 64 RBIs. He's 58th in the league in average, tied for 23rd in the league, the whole major league with home runs, 23rd in RBIs, and 7th in OPS with a .923.
And that's Soto.
Correct.
Okay.
Here's Schwarber. Here's the difference. Schwarber is batting .183, which is 150 plus in the league. 27 home runs, so it's a 7 home run difference. 65 RBIs, 1 RBI difference.
Yeah.
And his OPS is a 752.
And I believe Soto double Schwarber in walks total.
Soto's got 97 walks. Schwarber has 75. So strikeout wise.
Strikeouts is doubled.
93 to 139. And WAR, which is, your win above replacement. Yeah. He's a 3.9 this year to Schwarber's negative 0.9. So
let's say
slugging. Okay, here even better. Slugging percentage for Soto is higher at .503. Schwarber's .432, and on base percentage is .420 to .321.
So since we're talking Soto here, let's last one here. Say Soto. We had this discussion last year too about Soto at the deadline and everything. Where do you think Soto goes, and what do you think the package is to get him? If he's traded, if San Diego decides to fold, because if they fold, Soto goes, Snell goes, and Hader goes.
It's got to be the right package. In all honesty, I think the right package, and this is just not because I talked about it, the right package is him going to Philly. If he wants a chance where he can play, he can be the everyday left fielder. And again, that package is going to have to include Schwarber and probably Nola. I think the reason why they would go for Nola is the Austin and Aaron connection.
They have. Do they still have his brother? Or do they send him to AAA?
Either way, it gives the opportunity for them to have Aaron pitch to Austin.
That would
I
be a
think
cool.
I think the whole thing with Soto to Philly, the big reason is too Harper and Trey Turner.
So you just want to make it basically the updated Washington Nationals.
Not necessarily,
But
but
I mean, that's kind of it's ironic. It's ironic in a sense
it
because I
is.
remember all of the old Philly guys going to Washington,
Yeah,
and now here's Philly getting all of Washington's studs.
but let's be honest. Like San Diego, unless a miracle happens, they're not going to make a run like they did last year.
No, I don't believe so. They're not. They're not consistent enough, and they're already behind. And the money isn't. If you want to talk about money versus output, the money that they're paying players is not providing the output.
I think since Tatis has been back, like it's been a struggle for Soto to fit in with that organization. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
so
it
why
seems
not?
like there's a lot of butting heads.
So why not? This is not me being like wishful thinking. Why would you not consider sending him to Philly? At least you know there, like he gets along with Bryce, he gets along with Trey, he gets along with the coaching staff, or he went and flew home with them for the series that they played in Philly. I mean, it would make sense. But if you're San Diego, you're not just going to trade him away
To say screw it.
just because you're done. Like you still got a chance.
So it's obviously going to take a major league or two, but we're also going to be, for Soto at least, it's going to be at least 2 or 3 top prospects. So in terms of if you want to run with the Philadelphia scenario, do you include Painter, Abel, Rojas?
Well, so here's
any
where
other outfielder.
Here's where I think this trade would have to go. This is the way I think it would have to go. I think you would have to consider Soto would probably obviously be the target. I think though San Diego would try and throw in like a throwaway player. I wouldn't say Snell's a throwaway player, but like hey, take him off our hands. We don't really need him type move.
I'm trying to think here too.
Because they're not going to get rid of Darvish. Let's face it.
No,
even though he's 36. Hader's not going anywhere.
Cosgrove is not go.
Musgrove and Cosgrove. I'm talking about in a trade for Soto. They're not going to throw
in that. Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to throw like a Cosgrove, a Hader, a Musgrove type into that trade to take Soto away. It's going to be somebody like a Blake Snell. It's going to have to be because it's like, he's good for us, but just take him because we don't need him. In return, their return's going to have to be from Philly. It's going to have to be Schwarber. It's going to have to be a Nola, and you're talking not both, either Painter or Abel. That's going to have. And personally, I'd be okay with them sending Painter. As much as I like Painter,
with the elbow injury,
elbow injury now,
But then the question is for Philly, if you're still planning on contending and you get rid of Nola, do I believe Nola's at the end of the rope? Yeah, I believe he's at the end of the rope time-wise in Philly, but you still need to replace that spot. And do you really believe they have the internal solution to replace Nola?
Why not give Matt Strahm a chance again?
I could see that, but they'd go Bailey Falter. They just bring Falter back up.
Oh, yeah, but
okay. And if you're going to give me Nola and Falter, I'd rather take Nola.
But if the option's there to put Matt Strahm back in the starting rotation, though, and you put Bailey Falter in the bullpen, what difference does it make?
I trust Strahm in the bullpen more than Falter.
I'm just saying that's a possibility, though, is you put Strahm in there, or who else they have is down that could possibly come up. I'm just saying, there's an option.
I'm trying to think,
because whether you get rid of Nola or not, he's not your number one guy anymore. So what difference does it make? He hasn't been your number one guy for a couple of years now.
How many years are left on that Wheeler contract too? Because the whole thing with Abel and Painter was those two were going to replace the other two.
I think he's 2024. He's a free agent.
Okay, so you got another year left.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, pitching wise, on the 40 man, it does not look good. Yeah, Bailey Falter in the minors. And that, I mean, you're basically rolling with Wheeler. If you take out Nola, Wheeler, Walker, Suarez, Sanchez. That's your 4. If you take out Nola,
I
and
mean,
then I don't know. The internal options aren't good.
I think you give Strom a chance again, and then you leave a guy like
Bring up like Bilotti or Brogdon or something.
Somebody. Yeah, I mean, I like Brogdon. I just thought he got the wrong end of the deal.
Yeah,
this year, anyways. But you give Strom a chance. He was a workhorse for you when he was the starter when they needed a quick quick fix number 5 pitcher. So why not give the guy a chance?
Yeah,
because we both know at this point it's hit or miss with what Nola's going to give you anyway. So what difference does it make? Nola is quote pitching like a number 5 guy. You don't know what you're going to get from him. So why not make your number 5 guy a guy that, hey, we don't know what we're going to get from him either.
What do you want to make your number 5 guy a bullpen game?
I mean,
because that's what Strom would be. It would be 3 innings of Strom, 3-4 innings of Strom, and then bullpen.
I mean, the thing is, though, Strom did give us a couple times here and there. He pushed into the 5th inning, so he's capable of doing it.
It's not questions I want to answer going into a team that should be contending in the playoffs, not as a wild card, but here we are. I was going to say, we're pushing on 45 here, so let's end it with this. Is there any big move that you see left, whether it be Soto, whether it be Verlander, or it be somebody else? Do you see before Tuesday if somebody could sweep in and surprise everybody?
Soto is going to be the big move, and that's whether he gets moved or not. Like, the expectation is Verlander is going to get traded.
Yeah.
If he gets traded, is it really that big of a move? The only thing that would make that a surprise or would make it shocking is if it's some random, like, hey, I did not see that coming type trade. He's going to get traded.
So, yeah, I'm with you there. Basically, we know the guys that could get dealt. It's just a matter of if and where.
So, I mean, I think the next big move is going to have to be Soto, and that's whether or not we're trading him or we're not trading him. Because he's done in San Diego after this year anyways, so.
He has that opt-out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But again, but okay, so like here's the
or
latest.
Or maybe you could work something out too, like the Rangers did with Max, where it's part of the deal is you opting in.
Well, like here, just for example, latest on Justin Verlander. This is 7:36 Central Time, so you're talking 15 minutes ago for us.
Yeah.
The Braves have checked in on Verlander, but aren't currently in talks with the Mets, per John Morosi.
Rosenthal.
No, John Morosi.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The teams that have ties to Verlander or that are basically leading it are the Rangers, the Dodgers, and him going back to Houston.
Oh, God. Imagine if the Dodgers get Verlander, I'm just going to puke.
So it's not a matter of if Verlander gets traded, it's going to be when. And it's not going to be a surprise on who he goes to. I think the next big move, whether it's between now or Tuesday alone, is where is Soto going? Is he staying in San Diego, finishing out the year, and then signing somewhere, or is he being traded? Because whoever is trading for Soto, more than likely is going to get Blake Snell out of it, and they're going to be re-signing Soto to a pretty good contract. Because you're not just trading him as a rental. Not so much 300, but I'm talking like more than just, hey, we're going to sign you for a year, then you can walk. It's going to be we're going to give you 4 or 5 years, and then that's it.
Okay, I can see that.
So that's my take on what's going to happen for the trade deadline. I mean, you're going to have all these other minor stuff.
Yeah, like random pitcher, random player swaps, all that kind of stuff. But I'm with you. The next domino to fall if Soto again goes or knows.
And whether he does, that's the thing. If he doesn't go, gives you options now again as okay. So Aaron Nola being available, Stroman being available, Sonny Gray being available.
I don't know.
That'd be your next big name guys that would possibly get traded after that. If Soto doesn't go, they would be the top of the list. And I'm
and all
excluding.
that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean I'm excluding
Verlander
because we know he's probably gonna I don't see him staying.
Yeah,
I'd be more shocked that he stays than him actually being traded.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So yeah, let's just keep an eye out here. Let's wind this down. Is it 4 or 5 o'clock Tuesday when they call it? I think it's 5. Either way,
I don't know. I can't check it during the day anyway. So
yeah. Well, I'll be glued to my phone there. Trace, you got any final send off you want to say?
Little lackluster on my hockey and racing updates lately. Just not being able to be on my phone to keep track of everything sucks. But Baltimore is up 9-2 right now on the Yankees, so it's going to be a good Sunday night to go to bed and be happy, I guess.
There you go. Let's just say here, unless you want to update quick on hockey or racing, floor is yours.
I mean, not really anything going on in hockey other than Tarasenko is the only big name free agent that has signed, and he went to my new team, the Ottawa Senators. I've talked about that for the last couple of years. And racing wise, other than what I've put out in our group chat, was we've had just some pretty gnarly wrecks the last 2 days.
Yeah, at the Grove.
Well, you had one at the Grove.
The one was at the Grove. Yeah.
You had one at the Grove. You had one at Lincoln, one at Knoxville. And I'm going to share it to the page if I can find the video, and I'll show you guys. This is actually really funny. They had a big wreck in a late model race somewhere where they ended up in the trees, and there was a fist fight that occurred in the trees while it's
wait. So one car was in the trees or 2 cars in the trees?
No. So here's the track. Okay. So there's a runoff at the track, and there's a forest area right behind, off the runoff area. There's no fence there. They all went crashing, and they were out towards the trees, not actually.
Oh, okay. I thought they were in the trees.
No, that was Friday night when Woodall got stuck in a tree, which I'm glad he's okay. But then there was a fist fight that occurred while they were trying to clean the mess up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The boys will be boys.
No, there was females involved in this too. This was not just a boys versus boys. There's females. I got to see if I can find it again, but there was a female that swung at a male, and I think she might have been a tow truck driver, one of the tow trucks. I don't know. It was kind of funny. I wish I would have saved it, making it easier on myself.
It, you definitely got to share it and then throw it out on the main page.
Yeah.
So
I'll dig here. Don't worry.
I know you will. So keep an eye on that on the BW Sports One Facebook page for the fight of the racing fight of the century.
I don't know about that. Not yet, anyways.
Well, I was gonna say, check out our sponsors too. They've been scrolling down there on the bottom the whole time. It's Elite Performance, Checkered Life Customs, The Fighter's Friend, Doc Sports Picks, mybookie.ag, TheOne's Kitchen, Inner Beast Sportswear, Southern Indiana Combat Production, and Deals, Discount, and more. Go check them out, support them because they support us. Matt, thanks for jumping on and making this more enjoyable than it would have been me just blabbering on for a little bit.
Hey,
going every 3 seconds.
I put the fun in funny, I guess. I got to be good at something.
Yeah, you and me both.
I talk too much.
Hey, that's what we do here. You're always welcome to jump back on, man. So,
yeah.
Did you find?
I'm just scrolling.
I thought that's what the phone was up for.
No, so the one page I follow, I thought they would have it, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, they don't have it on here. I wish I knew where it was at.
Twitter or X?
I said I promise I don't know. I don't know what to search for this. That's where my problem is.
I trust you to find it.
Yeah, I'll find it. Once I find it, I'll share it for everybody.
All right, there. That's a promise. Everyone, Good night.